All right. Looks like we're live. We'll get started here. Good morning. Welcome to this January 7th of 2026 Board of Sanitary Commissioners meeting. If you would all please rise with me and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Today we have one excused absence. Commissioner David Smith is out. That said, we will now open the floor up for public comment. Those wishing to make public comment, please limit that to 3 minutes and approach the podium, state their name, and proceed with their commentary.
Yes, Rick Yenser, newsman and author of Muncie. A couple things come to mind here of keeping the river clean and picking up trash. Heard some noise the other day about whether this is a sanitary job to hook up the apartment building for the developer, which we the taxpayers then would have to pay, or if it's still just a part of a separation project that you've been doing ongoing that I think is cost taxpayers about $150 million in debt that we're going to have to pay the rest of the time. A couple other things we've heard noise about on social media, the river. The county the other day just hired somebody, and I think they did it last month, to get the log jam out where it always jams at Delaware-Randolph County line. I don't know. I saw a tree down. I see some logs there. I don't know if there's any jams here, but that usually is a job that you have to do to keep the river going. And the other thing, too, as I always say, I don't think property owners or utility customers want to see more increases. You've increased sewage bills over the next, let's see, what are we, in the second year, third year, 4 years, our bills go up here in Muncie just to pay for separation of storm and sanitary sewer. But still, I don't see the federal government doing much with environmental protection. Matter of fact, I see them reversing environmental protection. I don't know how that affects you and the separation of storm and sanitary, but if they let coal-fired plants run forever, I'm sure they're not pushing anybody to do anything on clean water. But hopefully you'll keep the river clean and pick up the trash this year without any more cost to us, the people. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Answer.
Thank you, Rick.
Any others wish to make comment? Give it 3 beats. No takers. We'll move on to our consideration of the December 10th, 2025 board minutes. Would any commissioner like to make a motion or commentary in regards to those board minutes?
Motion to approve consideration of December 10th board minutes.
I will second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Hearing none opposed, the board minutes for the December 10th, 2025 meeting are hereby approved. We'll next consider the register of claims totaling $1,627,973.57. Would any commissioner like to make comments or make a motion in regards to approval of said claims?
I did notice that the Dill Street lining was on $32,000, which I believe was our half of the payment for the village project.
Tom, is that correct? Yes, that is
And-
correct.
Okay, great.
All right, and let's see. I don't remember the exact page, but we had some capital purchases for sanitation. We had 2 stake bed trucks and a skid steer were purchased. The stake bed trucks are replacing existing. I think those were 2000-ish models. They're fairly old and bad condition, and skid steers just for help with leaf season and general shop work there at sanitation. So I would dig out the page, but just a general note, if you see a Silverado in there, that's what those are for. That said, would anyone like to make a motion to approve?
Motion to approve register of claims.
And I will second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Hearing none opposed, register of claims totaling $1,627,973.57 is approved. District Administrator update. There is currently no district administrator. I am filling in an interim measure on that one. The search has been launched and published nationwide. CPSHR is kind of handling that for us. That will continue. Franklin Street outside will remain closed as we're continuing that long-term control plan work here at the point. That's really it for closures, to my knowledge. And basically, you know, it's just January, so we're getting fired back up on a number of things. That said, old business. Mr. Clark, any old business?
No old business.
Mr. Overton?
Just, you want to comment on how you got the street opened earlier than anticipated? I think that's important for the public to know.
Well, we generally try to under-promise and over-deliver, so Bowen did an excellent job and was able to get that work completed in 3 weeks instead of the 8 that we initially scheduled. So excellent work by Bowen, our contractor, and United, who is providing construction inspection on that. So we were quite pleased to have it open before Christmas, so it worked out very well.
Yeah, that's the entrance into Muncie that was closed down for 3 weeks, so getting it done in less than half the time is excellent work, so congrats.
Thanks you, Mr. Overton. Mr. Sully, old business.
I have none.
And nor do I. New business, we will introduce a new item to new business. That'll be electing a slate of officers as the second item. Our first item is a levy bid opening. Mr. Noble, if you would please open some bids for us and tell us what it's for.
Morning, Board.
Morning.
Tom Noble, Director of Engineering. One more thing to add to the traffic. We were delayed due to weather and the holidays on Memorial at Elm and Jefferson. We do have multiple crews out there with some lane shifts going on. I believe right now they finished the work across Elm and Jefferson, and they will be shifting traffic over to the westbound lanes. So instead of a double wide, it'll be single lane while they tie everything into the center manholes. Then next week, that work will move to the north side of Elm, Jefferson, and Memorial.
All right. Thank you, Tom. All right.
So I am going to open the levy bid packets. A couple points I want to make to the board and to the public. Before Rick Conrad left, Rick, Chuck, and myself went through. We updated the scope of work on the levy. This is for a 3-year contract. Last time we gave the option of a 1 or 3. We went with the 3. We felt like that worked better. Gave the winning contractor a little more stability, knowing that they was going to have work with their ability to invest in equipment and personnel. So this will be for a 3-year contract. We had water quality interns last summer measure the slopes of the levees and identify some rutted areas, which will hinder our certification of the levee. Those have been, we did do drive-arounds with the contractors and noted those ruts, so they do not get any worse. And the slopes will be maintained at a higher setting to promote rehabilitation, and hopefully these ruts can kind of repair a little on their own. Typically, the entire levee was cut at 3.25 inches, slopes included. Last year, we tried to maintain the slopes a little higher. We can legally maintain those slopes at 14 inches if we choose to. We are going to negotiate with the winning contractor of what we want to keep those slopes at. We've identified areas that mowers are not to be on to try to promote growth. And also, we did add in there that they cannot put mowers that are not the manufacturer rated to handle those slopes. So having those slopes identified with what their equipment list would be, we can monitor that and police that a little better. We did include the tieback levee with this, understanding that there may be areas of that do not get mowed right away, but as it grows in, that will be part of the contract. The trailhead, because of where they're at in construction, we did not include any of that, and so that may be added following the first year of the contract once we figure out where grass is going to be, what's going to be paved, and everything else. It just wasn't far enough along to justify paying possibly a year of maintaining with no maintaining involved. So. Never worked one of these, so be patient with me. I do have 2 bids. First one is from Buffin Landscaping and Snow Removal. 3-year contract bid, $14,500 per mow. Again, that's 14500.00. And for the spring and fall cleanup, $4,300 per cleanup, so 4300.00. Make sure there's nothing else in here. So those are their total bids. They did put a copy of their liability insurance in there. Second bid is from Smith Family Services. 3-year contract bid, $15,900 per mow. It's 15900.00. Spring cleanup, they put in for $7,000, and the second cleanup, $5,000. Is that how that? Okay, I just want to make sure, so $7,000 for the spring cleanup, which is those are twice yearly. Those are cut down of rock areas and everything else. That has nothing to do with any of the storm damage over the winter, any of the flooding that could have trees and stuff hindering the mow. And it looks like that is cost per mow for the entire 3 years. So I would ask the board to table these pending review and legal review, and then we will approve the contract at a later date.
All right, Mr. Noble. We'll take those bids under advisement and wait for your recommendation. And after, of course, you have your committee's made your decision, please, send everything over to our legal team and make sure it gets reviewed, and then we will proceed from there.
Okay.
Mr. President, may I make one comment? Just, and I know you already know this, Tom, and you're going to do it, but when we get a new contractor, if we can have all the good language in the contract that you want, but if nobody's going out there and looking at the ruts, it's not going to matter. So I don't know how you can get on the schedule that somebody on a monthly or even bi-weekly basis goes out and looks.
And we have had internal discussions in the department, Chuck and myself, Jason, Rick previously, that we are going to scrutinize this a little more than we have in the past, which is going to be checkups on the equipment that they're using. We took the time to do these slope measurements to make sure that the proper equipment is being used. Also, we've identified areas that unless you have a slope mower, which costs $75,000, you are going to have to weed eat these areas. During the ride-alongs and during the the pre-bid meetings and stuff, we've explained that in detail with these contractors, so they know what this is going to entail, because we are going to scrutinize this a lot more than we have in the past.
Right, very good. Well, I just know that if we end up having to redo the whole levee, it's millions of dollars, so watching
Yes.
mowers is a lot cheaper than replacing a levee.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Noble. All right. On to what will become item 2. This is election of officers for the year. Since this is the first meeting, this is typically done. We just kind of forgot it. Thank you, Mr. Overton, for reminding us. Or sorry, Mr. Clark.
Okay.
So, somebody reminded us. Good job, whomever it was. That said, I guess typically we will just open this for nominations, or if any commissioner would like to propose a slate, that's also acceptable. So if a commissioner has a slate of officers that they would like to propose, obviously Mr. Smith is not here to represent himself, but he'll just have to live with it.
Could I move that the status quo be renominated,
Yes, so
the slate?
we'll just have to state that fairly clearly, and if you don't mind, I can do that for you. So Mr. Overton's motion is for the status quo to remain, which is Adam Leach for board president, Tim Overton for board vice president, and David Smith for secretary of the board. Is that correct, Mr. Overton?
Yes.
All right.
Second motion.
All right. We have a motion and a second for that slate of officers. All in favor can say aye.
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 Hearing none opposed and with one absent, that slate of officers is approved. Congratulations to, I guess, myself, Mr. Overton, Mr. Smith as well. I'm sure he's watching on his vacation. With that done, we'll move on to additional board topics. Mr. Clark,
Not this time, Mr. President.
Mr. Overton.
Just looking forward to a good year. Appreciate all of our staff, the excellent work that you do. And hopefully we can get some meetings together to do more internal improvements. Some of the ideas you guys have come up with over the last couple of years have been phenomenal. And we just want to keep the ball rolling and really appreciate the good work that you do.
Mr. Selvey.
I have nothing.
And I'll just kind of glom on to Mr. Overton's comments. We have positive momentum. We're in a pretty good place in a lot of ways. We can always do better. We will continue to do better, and we can't be afraid of failure. And if we fail, we learn from those lessons, and then we do better the next time. So that's basically our hope for the district and society in general, of course. But looking forward to another safe, productive new year, and working with the team, and appreciate my other board members and our department heads and every single employee that are continuing to make this place successful. So thank you to everyone involved. That said, our next scheduled board meeting will be Wednesday, January 21st of 2026 at 11:30. That said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. I'll make that motion.
Second motion.
Having a motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
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 Hearing none opposed, this board is adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.